now, this early into Multiversus. We're going to start things off on Trophy's Edge. Game number 1, Batman and Batman and Shaggy versus Bugs Bunny in Velma.
This is great here with Leviathan having that Shaggy, having that Rain Dog. We are mixing things up here between the first seeded team. Getting started off the rip though. You highlighted the Batman before. We highlighted those uppercuts. He goes swinging, but you have to get up there first to be able to get that follow.
Now this is something that was alluded to before the tournament began. Everybody was saying that they have something prepared, but you have nothing prepared for those nairs. Exactly, he has a dodge. Instead though, he gets away from there. But the rage attached to Shaggy and the armor that he can use to get in and close the gap, I think is part of their plan to try and deal with Mirrorman and RoseJ.
All right, let's see what he can do actually when it comes to controlling so much of the space that we're seeing from RoseJ and Mirrorman, one of the best players. You saw the down air attempt right there, real scary, but with a nice little stall actually, hanging up by the wall to try to recuperate and get right back next to Leviathan.
It's actually hilarious that the pie and the slow from the debuffs helped him stall a little bit longer, but the first life is going to be taken from that up air against Shaggy. Even with that decent weight, he's still going to be taking a trip off the top of the blast zone.
All right, you can see using the tunnel underneath though to be able to reposition real quick, sending over that safe. It's so hard, but catching the landing right there with the bat, you got to worry about that when it comes to how big a hitbox is. We talked about the spike though before, but now retaliating in, it's Shaggy who also has a really big downer.
Mirrorman always there ready to cover the dodges and the jumps when they have been burned. Instantly jumping up though to go for that down special, that dive kick to get in, and then trying to cover a dodge up was RoseJ with that side special themselves. But with the great health on and the defense from Velma, they avoided the uppercut to lose that first life attached to Mirrorman, who gets another one, 3 up to 0.
Those words actually sending over that safe there too. Also just hitting so hard. The fall the moment they come right back in though. RoseJ and Mirrorman are looking amazing in general, but you can see RoseJ making it back, living for so long, for as long as they actually could so far.
The fact that RoseJ got away from that down air and the spike from Batman was incredible defense in a stall from that side special before, but the cops are here instantly breaking it though underneath the smoke. We never got to see what happened.
Look at those 2 rockets coming back in. Say, hey, how are you? I've seen you so soon now. Coming right back down, not gonna find its mark though, but you can use that as a wall to actually reset a lot of that utility, but the bats swinging everybody off of the field.
Absolute dominance of the air and control off stage. Every single time that Batman tried to find his way back on, he has one of the best recoveries in the game. It did not matter. Every time they tried to challenge him in the air, it did not matter because that bat from Bugs stopped those down airs from Shaggy. It stopped the approaches from Batman as much as possible to the point that A could never get close enough to Velma to do any damage, and Mirrorman was just too strong to back them off.
It's actually insane the amount of space they can control in general. With so much of those projectiles though from RoseJ, it's nice to be able to see that change up. But Leviathan and Synume, the way that they're able to just follow from each other, I mean, they've had the history. We talked about it before. This is first seed for a reason.
Yeah, and coming into this bracket, they're going to probably be switched. They have a lot of capabilities to switch. You throw a dartboard at the menu screen and Leviathan can play it. It's one of those situations where Leviathan has so many pockets available to try and make different decisions, and we're going to see if that decision remains the same. It's going to not. It's going to bring out the fluffy boy. Rain Dog has returned to the screen as they throw Rain Dog instantly over to get into the fray.
And with that tether, you're going to be able to pull your teammate right back in. We've seen it before, but the change up between the Rain Dog and the Batman is going to be fantastic because he can just go zooming, quite literally, get really extra aggressive. But it's Mirrorman who's been doing a really good job, not only controlling some of the space with the rockets, but also being able to reposition.
That matters so much because one of the things that was a problem in the last game was the inability to get back on stage, even with that recovery that Batman has. That tether helps get out of those situations. But Mirrorman and RoseJ playing exactly how we saw them before, even with that projectile buff, it doesn't matter because a straight hit like that will find him as he flies in with the rocket and seals that first life.
It's so much space, not only between the rocket, but the pie going slow as well, controlling that lower end, and then you got to worry about the megaphone and the words since they do hurt sometimes. They're split up a little bit, and you see that they are trying to isolate Leviathan at the same time, jumping right back in though, manages to get right back next to Synume, but he's isolated over to the side by RoseJ. There's that support that you really get from RoseJ when it comes to the megaphone to help cover your landing.
And not being able to catch that up air in the skies was Leviathan trying to find that up air on Velma. Here comes the flying side special, gonna throw out the projectiles, but there was a few to take the hit. That snatches one. There's a lot of jumps gone, and that's going to be Velma falling and RoseJ losing their first life.
So close to attaching yourself to the wall though, but getting that snipe real quick with that projectile in general. You see Leviathan now all the way on the other side, loses out on that tether real quick here too. But it's about the priority of just being stuck on the ground. But you have to dance around a lot of these rockets that have been tethered all the way towards the other team.
Well, both of them have great mobility to do that. That jump cancel up special from Raindog gets out of there pretty quickly. Batman has a lot of options too, but trying to go save Batman, getting caught by the back hit of that up air, and that's going to be Leviathan falling, trying to save Synume.
Oh, the down air though, it's Spike on the stage. You are out of there right now. RoseJ and Mirrorman are looking so powerful against the first seed of this first Multiversus tournament.
This is the second seed right here as well. Coming into this, you could have argued either one of them coming in, like taking over the whole tournament, and Leviathan trying to strike. Mirrorman, you know, we talked about Void before too, has not really lost many, but the uppercut from Batman finally finds its mark. You got to get away from that save. That's now 2 more. They haven't taken a lot of damage, so they, even with Leviathan's 85, Leviathan, if he stays close and comfortable away. Oh my god, again, juggled all the way to the skies by the save. Can't touch the ground. Trying to find his way down, but Synume gets in the way to stop it.
Leviathan needs all the help right now. That is not a light dog, unfortunately, in terms of weight, and you have to worry about the amount of damage you've been putting in, but it's these uppercuts that you have to look for when it comes to Synume, trying to close out some of these lives.
They couldn't go forward either to get out of there. There were 2 rockets in the way. It was impossible, but Synume can still find a recovery off the top. If you can find Velma slipping, but coming through with both the projectiles, the megaphone and the safe. It's so scary. Any straight hit takes him out, and it finds not 1 but 2. And they get 2 games up in the lead.
The way that Synume and Leviathan were able to reverse the situation, try to even things up real quick, it's RoseJ and Mirrorman who are always there to catch their landing, and that's the best thing you could do when it comes to the Batman that wants to go for those uppercuts. You know he's going to be in the air alive.
301 damage for Velma, 402 damage for Bugs. Those Nair strings into down air resets, consistently getting damage onto the whole team. They couldn't get down. It was insane. The crowd getting still here with us, of course, throughout the entire thing, trying to look at what could be a 3-0 for Mirrorman and RoseJ over Synume and Leviathan. That would send an incredibly dangerous team into the losers bracket. Actually, for that matter, either one of these, nobody wants to see this in their losers bracket run.
This is scary in general. Can you imagine first seed, second seed? I mean, in general, like what you're saying, both these teams so strong in just being able to bring a lot of different things to the table. The damage, though, coming in from Leviathan, Synume on the other side to isolate Mirrorman and RoseJ.
Oh, Leviathan is now swinging. So at the very beginning of that, there was the command grab from Velma to send him over to the side, and then instantly boxed 36 damage onto Bugs, and then kept it going. There, now we're seeing a lot of separation from Bugs, getting away to go fight Batman instead.
The words, sometimes they do hurt, but they see the big head coming in too. You see him try to go for that down air though. Immediately RoseJ trying to reposition right next to Mirrorman. The fact that you currently see Synume and Leviathan doing a really good job at trying to separate them, you saw that Mirrorman was able to immediately reposition right next to him. The forward special coming in. A little bit here too. You see the safe getting dropped down. Big down air spike coming in attempt as well.
That rocket was so close to the up air, it's not going to be enough. And look, when Velma says she wants to talk to you, you should probably walk away from that conversation. Maybe just separate it. Don't talk to her anymore because she has been so painful to deal with, and that uppercut is not going to get enough, but the up air is going to be enough as we see another life taken in favor of the red team.
Love the cancel real quick to actually go for the reposition. You got an idea real quick. You see that light bulb coming in too. The tether to try to just bring Synume right back in just in case. The save too that Leviathan has been able to avoid. Even with the words too, you're trying to be able to catch that landing, but then the down air to come in, the hammer to swing them down and spike them on the stage. It can be so difficult to DI properly too.
Mirrorman is quite literally impossible to knock out. Never mind, we get 2 on the side of that. The problem was you had to hit both of them at the same time. We're gonna see the blue team even things right back up.
Comes the save coming all the way down again. Taking some of that extra damage as you're weakened too here. We even try to set him in as the meter just comes down. The fireball as well as the crystal that's on the stage currently to do some of that extra damage. But it's far off to the side. RoseJ and Mirrorman doing a good job not only avoiding a lot of the stuff that Leviathan has been able to throw out, but Synume also retaliating quickly with that uppercut.
I'm glad you pointed out the retaliation too, because Synume has been finding more of those jabs into battering resets, getting free combo damage, but not really the safest spot for Raindog on the side. Leviathan just trying to get through a lot in the way. Somehow didn't get hit by the safe as it got knocked over. They're very lucky that didn't end up connecting.
Brushed by his hair, but it's Synume that gets taken out instead. Now Leviathan needs to watch out, needs to avoid this bat. He's got the smoke screen, but the full intent. Oh no! The safe clocking him on the head instead.
Mirrorman and RoseJ almost in disbelief, getting ready to pop off during that. Like, wait, it ended. The safe gets through and finds the knockout to take